First of all, I would like to welcome you all once again to this August course here in our monastery. It seems the number of participants are increasing every year. So here we have tried to kind of empty this temple as much as possible, but still it looks very crowded. So if it keeps on like this, then we have to think about some other ways maybe to make an elastic temple. Well, anyway, this year I think it's just enough for everybody to sit together and to some time together in our mutual efforts in learning and also try to reflect, to meditate on some points of Dharma. And each time it is a very great joy for us who are here, anyway for myself, to meet all of you here on this particular occasion for what we call as August meditation course. And of course this is not because you have all come here to listen to me, to listen to my talks. I find it quite amazing why you come to listen to all these blah blah of somebody like me. However, you have your reasons to come here quite regularly, to listen hours and hours to these talks. And that makes me very happy, not because I'm the speaker and you are the listener, because we all together are continuing and maintaining and living something very, very important, something very, very precious together. Because this is now the 36th time of our August course. And some of you who are still here, ancient, they are now, some of us have become ancient, antique, ancient participants who they are right from the very first course. Remember it very well. This meditation course, this teaching program was initiated by our precious master, Venerable Gonsar Rinpoche, back in 1981. Among us still there are some, at least we three here, and two translators and myself, were there right from the very beginning when the precious master gave such a wonderful teaching in the place called Les Avants. That's not very far from here. It was that way started and carried on for some years until precious master's parinirvana, which took place always in this place called Les Avants. So therefore, originally the name of this course was Les Avants course. Everybody knows it by the name of the place, Les Avants course. And that's how it started back in 1981. So until our precious master withdrew his physical form in 1986, precious master continued, because the first time he gave teaching, and after every participant, all the disciples requested him to continue it, because everybody found that 1 week such a teaching, such spending time together, living together and engaging everybody together in learning Dharma, in the practice of Dharma, everybody found it very, very beneficial. And so therefore everybody requested Master to continue that. And that's how Gonsar Rinpoche continued also in the following years. After came the parinirvana of the Master, and so there was 1 year of interval, and after then only with his blessings and his guidance, I have tried to kind of fulfill that task of the precious Master, to continue not only the general activities but also to continue this August course until now. So not only this organization, this course, but all the other activities, Dharma activities, spiritual activities, which the precious Master has initiated with a very far-seeing view, a view purely altruistic, purely for the sake of the sentient beings, for the sake of the dharma, he has initiated not only discourse, also various other important activities. And he has established such centers with the Dharma like here and also others. And all these activities of the Master is continuing always, gone through all these years without ever kind of degenerating or disintegrating or anything like that. Everything continued very smoothly up until now. And this is all only because of the blessings and the constant guidance of the Master. That's only the factor, actually the force behind to make all these things to run and to continue. And that's thanks to that only. And of course also everybody, all the monastic community, the students and the members, etc., all joined together in everybody's effort to maintain this kind of activities, and everything is continuing. And the most important factor, as I mentioned before, the key to all our secret or the key to all our success is the blessing of our precious Master and nothing else. To make things actually to work, to function and to be effective requires some important cause and conditions, and that is on part of ourselves, the disciples, having real well-founded faith and the trust and faith and real well-founded respect and devotion, and then the blessing of the precious Master, or the compassion and the guidance of precious Master completely coming together, uniting, as we always say, the hook of the compassion, the hook of the devotion and faith completely fitting in the ring of the compassion of the Buddhas. So that's what happens when the hook of the faith of the disciples completely fit in the ring of the compassion Buddhas. Then whatever is to be accomplished, spiritual development, the liberation, whatever one may call, then is something that can happen. And that has been the case with ourselves. And so therefore the guidance, the blessings, the compassion of the precious Master is always present with ourselves, regardless of whether he is in physical form present or not. That it doesn't depend on such things. That guidance is all there, always there. The blessing is always there. So therefore whatever we try to pursue, following such guidance of our precious Master, then also works, functions and brings a good result. And that is how we have accomplished whatever we have accomplished so far, only in this way. And that is also what maybe also what blessing of the Guru makes me or helps me also to express words which are not nonsense, but words which have certain meaning, something which is maybe beneficial for the listeners. Such words came out of my mouth, uttered by me, by the blessing of the Guru. And that's the only way I can explain. Otherwise, out of this mouth, nothing, any words of wisdom or anything like that is very, very rare. More gossiping and foolish chattering and such kind of things are the common function of my speech, my words. However, when like now all of you come together, so in such a situation, through the blessing of the Guru, then maybe some useful words, some meaningful words come out of my mouth, and which you hear and which you find something meaningful, and maybe that's the reason why you keep coming back again and again. Sometimes I always amaze myself. What if I were you? I would never return to such a person at all. But you were never tired of it, and you return, come back again and again, and in increasing numbers also. So I think there's definitely something to do with the blessings of the Guru. And when the blessings of the Guru is there, then blessings of the three jewels and all the deities and everything just follows naturally. So maybe that is, I think, the most important factor why this August course could continue for so many years without ever declining, and even in an increasing manner it is continuing. So this is very positive. Anyway, it's very rejoiceful. The fact that the precious master has accepted to give such a meditation course and to continue that is because the master actually saw the positive effect of such activity. Because many people who are very deeply interested in the teaching of the Dharma, in the practice of Dharma, for most of the people there's great difficulty to find the proper environment and also a suitable time and place to engage in such activities. At least few days a year, everybody can come together, and during which the master gives teachings on the Dharma, and then also shows the method, way to practice, etc. Then it becomes very, very meaningful, very, very beneficial. That within short time one learns many things and also learns what to do as practice. Then they can practice when they return to their own places, their own home, because everybody do not have the same opportunity as members of a monastery or of a center where they live there permanently and they can permanently follow a course and so on. This is not the case for most of the people. On this, occasionally at in a suitable environment, and also with the time which is particularly consecrated for the study and practice of Dharma, when that is found, then it becomes very meaningful. And that's the effect which the precious master saw, so he also continued this kind of meditation course. The way how this course is initiated by the master, it has certain characteristics. So during this time, priority is given for learning Dharma before anything else. Although it's called meditation course, but meditation course can be understood differently. So meditation course, anyway, how our precious master has taught us is first to learn the important points of Dharma. That is indispensable. We do not just come here to sit together for some days and live a very peaceful and calm and peaceful week together and move around very peacefully, very gently, like floating in this cloud or something like that, or sitting here and there like a statue of Buddha. That's all very wonderful. That is all very, very nice. However, that alone cannot fulfill the purpose that we actually need to fulfill. And so therefore, of course, during such time we should try to live peacefully. Of course not, it should be more peaceful than usual. Master also always, first day on that introductory part of the course, he always emphasized that we should live during this time peacefully, harmoniously, and also ethically. That means not let our body, speech and mind to be completely carried away by our negative emotions and our delusions and like this. to be carried away by our desire or attachment, to be carried away by anger and jealousy, to be carried away by arrogance and all such kind of deluded mind. Instead, one should try to live peacefully, harmoniously, respectfully, and instead of letting our body, spirit and mind to get distracted and scattered everywhere, one should try to bring them together and then concentrate on the teachings which are given, understand them, follow them, and then also after reflecting on the points of those teachings, and then also discuss about it between the friends. And there are also occasions specially given for asking questions, and there is question and answer sessions in such times. Participate in these kind of things. And then there are also times for meditations also, or silent meditations. Then try to reflect on those points what one has understood in the teaching. During such time, to reflect on them as deeply as one can. If one does spend the time in that way, then even just 1 week can bring lots of benefit. That is actually been really observed, seen by most of the participants, always. So that's why many participants repeatedly participated, because they found it really, even though it's a short time in a year, but that short time in a year brings lots of positive effect, which may last for the whole year. So that way, this course should be followed, and not as just only a peaceful holiday. It is actually, most of you have taken this holiday, and that's maybe some of you don't have. It's not holiday time, but anyway, you have tried to spare much time possible. And then I know that many of you have, with a lot of maybe working additional hours and so on, in order to bring some time together for such teaching. This is wonderful. It is something very, very worthwhile, very meaningful, and much more meaningful than spending our holidays, our free times on the seashores or somewhere like that, or on the top of the mountains, or wherever, or another country or something like that. Yeah, that is also, why not, sometimes it's good, but still one really needs time for this kind of activities, like study of the Dharma and also practice of meditation, because these have benefits, not only temporary benefits, but long-term benefit, something which is quite immeasurable. And so seeing such benefits, you are also very earnestly, we've been following this course, which is very good, so therefore we should each time try to do it as best as we can. You remember, most of the participants who have been here these last courses, we have started some courses back, a kind of method or a system of teachings on certain topics of the dharmas, topics of the meditation, which I have explained as the so far like the 5 bhavanas. Bhavana is the actual word in Sanskrit for meditation, which I've already explained many times. So what it means. Bhavana actually means more like thinking over again and again. Familiarization is to familiarize. Bhavana, in Tibetan, gom, both means to familiarize. So that is what actually the meditation means. Bhavanas, I was explaining 5 bhavanas. Bhavana first was the Shraddha Bhavana, that is the meditation on the faith. And then there was also a meditation on the Nisarana, that means renunciation. In the context of Nisarana, we went through the meditation on the Anitya, that means impermanence, transitory nature, and also then meditation on the Dukkha Bhavana, that is on the sufferings. And then we also went through the Karuna Bhavana, that is on compassion. And together with Karuna also is the Maitri Bhavana, that is loving kindness. And then also we went through this Karuna Maitri, they come together, and also Bodhicitta Bhavana, that means the meditation of the mind of enlightenment. So these are the topics that we have been dealing with during the last courses. Still one more topic for the bhavana is, which we have already began partly, shortly or briefly, but we still have to go more deeply. This is on the Samyak Drishti Bhavana, that means the meditation of the perfect view. That's where we have stopped, if you remember the last year's course. So this is what we still have to kind of deepen in our reflection. So we have still some things to do in the following days. So we will try our best to make these few days as meaningful as possible. And so therefore, as I said already before, we should live as positively as possible during this time, avoiding those negative states of course, the delusions and so on are not so easy to just to stop like that. Due to cause and conditions, they may rise any time. However, try to control them and not let them completely free, and they completely kind of overwhelm us and overpower us and compel us to engage in all kind of unsuitable actions. That's what we should try to prevent by all means, and then try to concentrate on learning and contemplation on the points of the teaching, points of the Dharma. Then also I wish you a very pleasant stay. The weather seems very nice. I hope it will stay like that. And well, I think then from tomorrow morning, as it is in the program, there will be first a meditation period. Tomorrow is Uposota day, that is a monastic confession day. So at 7 o'clock, that you don't need to, if you like, you can just sleep and have a sweet dream. But anyway, the monastic communities, as 2 times every month, tomorrow is the day for Uposota, so therefore we should come here in the temple at 7 o'clock. And that is just for the monastic community, as always. And the course program begins. So it's very important to take good care of your health, all the time. Also during this year, don't kind of neglect your own health. Don't let you catch cold or freeze or something like that. Otherwise, it can become an interference. So therefore, if anything like this happens, then you should inform us, and then and also generally to take good care of your health. And because we haven't come here to practice some kind of asceticism, so we have to be in good health. That's important. And also I feel like to say that now we have every year another important event is our Children's Week, as most of you know, which was just some weeks before. It is also now also 30 something times we have done, and this also is going very, very well with increasing participants and so on. From our Children's Week, or maybe some of them don't want to be called Children's Week, rather our Youth Week, our International Buddhist Youth Week, participants, the young ones, they are really very, very intelligent. And really their intelligence, and not only the intelligence, they are anyway very intelligent ones, but also their interest in the Dharma and really increased so much just through their own natural interests and so on, without being pushed by anyone. More and more participants of our Buddhist Youth Week are also now coming in this group. So now there are more and more increasing number of our Children's Week or Buddhist Youth Week now participate into this. The senior, we are seniors, our senior group, no, our maybe adults group of the Dharma group, they move in. This is wonderful. I find that's exactly how it should be. That's the way how really Dharma flourishes properly in the most natural way. In an environment is exactly that, and that is that's happening by itself without anyone pushing. So this is also particularly rejoiceful.